It's time for story time. 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 Good morning, buenos dias. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? That's great to hear. Are you ready for today's story? Awesome. Today's story is by Debbie Allen. She's the author, and the pictures are by Kadir Nelson. This story is called Dancing in the Wings. I could bend it. That means it's a paperback book. You're right. Here is the front. Here is the back. And there is the spine. This is a picture of Debbie Allen. She has her own dance studio, and I believe this may be her daughter. Yep, photo of Debbie Allen and her daughter, Vivian. Very cool. All right. There is the title page, Dancing in the Wings. It's dedicated to her daughter Vivian and Philia Furley, Judith Jameson, Cynthia Gregory, and all long-legged divas who are destined to dance. From the illustrator, it's for Amel, my little sassy. Ever since I was born and could see, everywhere I looked I saw dance. In the clouds as the wind blew them across the sky, in the ripples on a pond, even in the sea of ants marching up and down their hills, dance was all around me. Dance was me. My mom calls me sassy 'cause I like to put my hands on my hips and 'cause I always have something to say. Well, if you had feet as big as mine, you'd understand why. You should join the swimming team since you got those long toes and don't need any fins, my older brother Huey teased. I shot right back. At least I don't have that big forehead looking like a street lamp. Mama said, stop all that bad talk. You act so ugly sometimes. Huey, your big head is a sign of intelligence, and Sassy, your big feet will make your legs look longer and prettier in your ballet shoes. My legs were longer, all right, so long that when I went to tendu, point my toe at the bar, I tripped Miss Catherine, our teacher, who was coming down the line looking the other way. Splat! She landed under the piano, her legs up in the air. Oh, it was so funny. Even she had to laugh. Sassy, she called out, I'm going to tie orange bows on those big feet. Sorry, Miss Catherine, I answered, but if you don't wear your glasses, you still won't see them. One thing for sure, because of my long legs and big feet, I could jump higher and spin faster than everyone else. I was taller than the rest of the kids at school, even the boys. At our recitals, all the other girls got to dance solos and duets and wear pretty tutus. I was too big for the boys to pick up and too tall to be in line with the other girls, so I watched from backstage, dancing in the wings, hoping that if I just kept dancing and trying, it would be my turn to dance in the spotlight. One day at the end of ballet class, Miss Catherine announced, Mr. Debato from the Russian school is coming next week to look for talented young people for the Summer Dance Festival in Washington, D.C. But as I wrote my name down, I heard two girls, Molly and Mona, giggle. Mona said, oh, please, she'll never make it. They said talent, not a Tyrannosaurus. My heart seemed to stand still. For once, I had nothing to say. I couldn't hide the tears I felt welling up in my eyes, so I just grabbed my dance bag and ran to the parking lot. I heard a familiar horn honk and turned to see my Uncle Red in his bright green pickup truck. Uncle Red had the whitest teeth, tight curly hair, smelled of cigars, and every day wore something red. A tie, a hat, a shirt, socks, maybe even his shoestrings. Just something red. Why of all days did Mama have to send him to pick me up? Why today? I was not in the mood for his jokes or stories, but I quickly tried to dry my eyes and smile. I got a good one for you today, Sassy. What did the banana say to the monkey? Split! Get it? Split, banana, split. I started to cry. Sassy, what's wrong? He said. I told him what had happened. I'm just so much taller than the other dancers, Uncle Red. Sassy, he said. You gotta look at that as a gift. Being tall means you can see all around. You can always find the right path to take. No, I said. It means I stick out like a big acne bump on someone's nose. I'll never get to dance. It's a waste of time to go to that audition. Listen, gal, said Uncle Red, if I was as tall and pretty as you, I wouldn't need to wear red so people know it's me coming and going. All you gotta do to make your mark on the world is walk into that room. By the time I got home, Uncle Red had cheered me up, had me laughing and feeling better. As I got out of his truck, he waved goodbye, calling out, Make your mark, gal. Huey and his football friends stopped playing. Huey yelled out, Hey, Sassy, why don't you come and play with us? We need a goalpost. His little mean, ugly friends laughed. Boy, did that make me mad. Sure, if we can use your big head for the ball, I shouted back. His friends screamed with laughter. Huey got so mad, he turned red, looking like a tomato with that big head. We were just about to go at each other when Mama called us inside. Ooh. Later that night, I lay awake, staring out my window and thinking about Uncle Red's words. I could see myself dancing on that Milky Way, swirling like a twinkling shooting star. Next thing I knew, I was talking to myself out loud. I'm going to make that audition. Going to go to that audition. Big feet and all. On the day of the tryout, kids came from all over the city. It was so crowded. Everyone was expected to wear black. But like Uncle Red, I picked my own color, bright yellow. And instead of standing in the back, I squeezed between Molly and Mona right in the front row. I ignored their snickering. Miss Catherine came in and introduced Mr. Debato. Everyone applauded. Boy, was he short. Couldn't have been more than 4 feet 9 inches tall. He started walking down the rows, pacing back and forth, just looking at us. Then he stopped right in front of me and said, Young lady, why are you wearing that loud yellow leotard? I'll need to put on sunglasses to see anybody else. Please go to the back row. Ooh. So she didn't wear the colors everybody else was supposed to wear, and they were told to wear black, and the boys have to wear white with black bottoms. She wore yellow, and he's like, nah, you didn't follow the directions. Wonder what she's going to do. Molly whispered, there she is. Can you find her? See, you wouldn't want to be you. See ya, wouldn't want to be you. At least he noticed me, I snapped. I put my hands on my hips and walked to the back. The first round of the audition was center floor exercises. Mr. Debato walked around, prodding and poking, making corrections. He stopped once and looked right at me, but didn't say a thing. I held my breath as he dismissed almost half the kids after the first round. But not me. Next was the adagio, the slow section. I stood as close to Mona as I could get and whispered, your little skinny short legs are gonna look like chicken wings next to mine. I'd rather look like a chicken than a turkey like you with that long neck, she answered. Talk to the hand. Psh, I told her. I took my leg up so high it got stuck. Luckily, I could balance on my other big foot, so I just held it until Mr. Debato remarked, Young lady, the exercise is finished. Oh, I jumped out of position. Show off, Molly grunted. Gobble, 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 gobble. Mona imitated a turkey. Then came the leaps across the floor. I took off like Jackie Joyner Kersey in the long jump at the Olympics. With one leap, I sailed in the air past all the other girls. Molly and Mona watched, looking pea green with envy. When I finished, Mr. Debato yelled, "Young lady, you must learn to dance to the music. Up on the count of 1, down on the count of 3. 3, not 5. You have the rhythm of a troglodyte." I have never heard that word before. Again. I was crushed. Oh, as I paced Mona to, as I passed Mona to get back in line, she said, "Next time, bring your big butt down on 3." Your mama, I said. Ooh, did I wish I was a wizard. I'd turn them into 2 big fat frogs in tutus trying to hip hop. By the end of the day, there were only 7 of us left. Mr. Debato called out everyone's name except mine and asked them to step forward. Standing alone, I really had to fight back my tears. Then I heard him say, "Thank you all for coming today. Keep working. Keep trying. You are dismissed." Mr. Debato said to me, "Sassy, you have a great deal of potential. You have beautiful long arms and legs, but you flail about with no control. You must learn to use your feet better and timing. We have a lot of work to do when you come to Washington this summer, but please, please leave that loud yellow leotard at home. All you need to do to be noticed is walk into a room." Dismissed. He walked out. Jumping and shouting, I ran to the parking lot. I made it! I made it! Mama, I made it! Guess who was there to pick me up? Mama, Uncle Red, Huey, and half his football team piled in the back of the green truck on their way to a game. Everybody was so proud of me, even Huey. "You go, Miss Bigfoot." "Thank you, Mr. Big Head," I said. We all laughed. 1 month later, Mama and I boarded the plane for Washington, D.C. She held my hand as my heart pounded when we landed. At the school, there were young dancers from Russia, Mexico, France, China, Cuba, Brazil, New York, Texas, and long-legged me from Inglewood, California. In class the first day, Mr. Debato introduced me to his 12-year-old protege, a boy named Dwight, who was 5 feet 10 inches tall. "Dwight, I think I have found you a partner. Meet Sassy." Mama was right. Being tall wasn't so bad after all, and neither was having a big head. By the end of the summer, Huey had won the grand prize at Space Camp in Alabama, and I got to dance a duet with Dwight in the summer concert. When Dwight lifted me high in the air, I felt like I was dancing on the Milky Way, me and my big feet making my mark on the world. And there she is doing a curtsy for her bow at the end of her performance. Thank you, Debbie Allen. And Debbie Allen also has a school in California the Debbie Allen School of Dance. And my own children are both teenagers, a boy and a girl, and they have been dancing since they were 3 and 4 years old. And this is their 11th year dancing, and they have had struggles along the way for both of them because they are both black dancers. And being a male black dancer has even been more difficult for my son, but he has excelled, and so has my daughter. So if there's anything you put your mind to and you have the support behind you, you will absolutely go far and keep your head up and make your own way, even up to the Milky Way. It's time to sing our goodbye song. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Adios, mis amigos, adios. Adios, mis amigos, adios. Hasta luego, hasta mañana, hasta la vista, mis amigos. Adios, mis amigos, adios. We love you. Mwah! Ciao, Bella.